Do not buy 12 Tribes on Earth hair growth oil and hair magic elixir unless you want super healthy, gorgeous hair that grows. They have a whole line of amazing hair growth products, including hair growth leave-in conditioner spray, hair growth shampoo, hair growth spray, and hair growth butter. I'm starting to sense a theme here. They include quality natural ingredients. They smell amazing, and you can see the results for yourself. So if you're looking for healthy hair growth for your natural or relaxed hair, try 12 Tribes on Earth today.
Shalom, family. Good to see you all here. Hope you're doing well. Just before I came on here, do you know the three fallen soldiers that lost their life over in the Middle East? I believe this was like the first 24 hours of the war. They're going to be landing with those bodies back in the US, and Donald Trump is refusing to attend the landing. Now, this man expects the country to get out there and fight and people to want to fight, and he doesn't even want to acknowledge the fallen. Just try to sit on that one. I mean, the nerve. Yeah, he won't go. He said he's not going. And so these are the first three casualties of this war that him and Netanyahu got started. And he won't even greet or acknowledge the three fallen that will be landing back in the country real soon. Says a lot about Donald Trump. So, y'all, we're going to talk about poll numbers because Donald Trump ran on Truth Social the following day after bombing Iran along with Israel. And he was boasting how it was a boost in his poll numbers. Now, mind you, nobody in the country gives a crap about poll numbers right now. But this is what he focused on. Oh, my poll numbers went up. And I'm like, this dude, seriously? There is no empathy in Donald Trump at all. When he was raised, they left the empathy part out. It's just not there. It's not there. And the fact that he won't even show up for fallen soldiers or even acknowledge them, that says a lot. That says a whole lot. But Donald Trump, don't be shocked if nobody is running to the recruiting office to try to help you out. I doubt if that will happen. So we're going to listen to, because some people really came back at Donald Trump for focusing on poll numbers, and they were pulling out other poll numbers showing that most of the country find him unfavorable. So people really fired back. There are a lot of folks that ain't feeling Donald Trump at all, and they are letting it all out. So, y'all, let me go ahead and share my screen so we can get started. All right. Please give me a 1 if you can see my screen. Thank you.
Obama's poll numbers are in a tailspin. Watch him launch a strike in Iran. He's desperate. Oh, really? Trump in 2026, his poll numbers are terrible? And would you look at that? He launched a strike in Iran. As he was talking about himself the whole time. That's really a post for everything.
We have major news right now. Only 1 in 4 Americans approve of the strikes in Iran. In first polling following Donald Trump's essentially war in Iran, only 27% of those polled by Reuters approve of the strikes. 43% disapprove, 29% say they're not sure. Over 50%, 56% of those polled believe that Donald Trump is too willing to use military force to advance U.S. interests. In addition, today on television, Republican Senator Ted Cruz admitted on television, quote, "I have no indication that they were anywhere close to getting nuclear weapons." They referring to Iran. Donald Trump, meanwhile, announced that the United States military took out 9 naval ships. He made this post on Truth Social and said that they're essentially decimating the Iranian Navy and that we are, quote, going after the rest. Major developments right now. Americans do not support this war. Not surprisingly. Spread the word. Follow along for all the news you need to know about. More to come.
Donald Trump is not just unpopular. Donald Trump is historically unpopular. The man who continues to walk around telling everybody, I got a mandate for leadership, has now seen the largest approval rating drop in their first 2 months in office in the history of approval rating polling dating back to 1937. No other president in the history of approval rating polling has lost as much support in the first 2 months in office as Donald Trump has. Also, worth noting, only one person has ever had a disapproval rating higher than what Donald Trump has right now. And you know who that person was? I think it's pretty obvious. Donald Trump. During his first term in office, in his first 2 months, Donald Trump, again, first term, had the lowest approval rating, or highest disapproval rating, I should say, of anyone to come into the Oval Office.
Facts don't matter to people that will believe bullshit like this.
Over the past 36 hours, the United States and its partners have launched Operation Epic Fury, one of the largest, most complex, most overwhelming military offensives the world has ever seen. Nobody's seen anything like it. We have hit hundreds of targets in Iran, including Revolutionary Guard facilities, Iranian air defense systems. Just now was announced that we knocked out 9 ships plus their naval building, all in a matter of literally minutes. Iran's formerly supreme leader, Ayatollah Khamenei, is dead. This wretched and vile man had the blood of hundreds and even thousands of Americans on his hands and was responsible for the slaughter of countless thousands of innocent people all across many countries. Last night, all over Iran, the voices of the Iranian people could be heard cheering and celebrating in the streets when his death was announced. The entire military command is gone as well, and many of them want to surrender into saving their lives. They want immunity. They're calling by the thousands. Combat operations continue at this time in full force, and they will continue until all of our objectives are achieved. We have very strong objectives. They could have done something 2 weeks ago, but they just couldn't get there. Earlier today, CENTCOM shared the news that 3 U.S. military service members have been killed in action. As one nation, we grieve for the true American patriots who have made the ultimate sacrifice for our nation, even as we continue the righteous mission for which they gave their lives. We pray for the full recovery of the wounded and send our immense love and eternal gratitude to the families of the fallen. And sadly, there will likely be more. Before it ends, that's the way it is. Likely be more, but we'll do everything possible where that won't be the case. But America will avenge their deaths and deliver the most punishing blow to the terrorists who have waged war against basically civilization. They have waged war against civilization itself. Our resolve, and likewise that of Israel, has never been stronger. America is now, again, the richest, most powerful nation in the world by far. But the only reason we enjoy the quality of life that we do and the freedom and security is we have done things that others are unable to do. but it's because of warriors who are willing to lay down their lives to do battle with our enemies. And they do battle better than anybody. An Iranian regime armed with long-range missiles and nuclear weapons would be a dire threat to every American. We cannot allow a nation that raises terrorist armies to possess such weapons that would allow them to extort the world to their evil will. Not going to let it happen. We're not happening to us, and we're not going to let it happen to others. The United States has the strongest military the world has ever seen. I rebuilt our military in my first term. There's never been a military like we possess. And frankly, there's nobody even close, but we are now using that military for good. We want to have it for good purpose. We're undertaking this massive operation not merely to ensure security for our own time and place, but for our children and their children, just as our ancestors have done for us many, many years ago. This is the duty and the burden of a free people. These actions are right and they are necessary to ensure that Americans will never have to face a radical, bloodthirsty terrorist regime armed with nuclear weapons and lots of threats. For almost 50 years, these wicked extremists have been attacking the United States while chanting the slogan, "Death to America" or "Death to Israel," or both. They are the world's #1 state sponsor of terror. We are the world's greatest and most powerful nation, so we can do something about what they do. These intolerable threats will not continue any longer. I once again urge the Revolutionary Guard, the Iranian military, police, to lay down your arms and receive full immunity or face certain death. It will be certain death. Won't be pretty. I call upon all Iranian patriots who yearn for freedom to seize this moment, to be brave, be bold, be heroic, and take back your country. America is with you. I made a promise to you, and I fulfilled that promise. The rest will be up to you, but we'll be there to help. Thank you. God bless you to our incredible warriors, and God bless the United States of America. Thank you.
Someone's feeding them the wrong numbers. The Economist says people don't like him. The New York Times says people don't like him. The Cook Political Report says people don't like him. And the Gallup poll says people don't like him. So it's not just the MAGA cult that believes the dog shit that they're spoon-fed. It's their cult leader that believes all the dog shit that he's spoon-fed.
The results of our brand new CNN exclusive poll on the U.S. military action in Iran shows that President Trump has an uphill climb here to convince the American people to come to his view on this war. He starts out underwater. 59% of Americans in this poll say they disapprove of the action the U.S. took over the weekend. Only 41% approve. Majority say that they think this will make Iran more of a threat to the United States than less of a threat to the United States. And nearly 6 in 10 say they don't believe Donald Trump has a clear plan for how to deal with Iran. As with many things in American politics, a party dictates a lot of the thinking. So 77% of Republicans approve of the U.S. action this weekend. And in fact, while there may be some loud critics inside the MAGA world who say this is not an America First strategy, in our poll, those Republicans who identify as MAGA, they are the most supportive of the president's approach here. I will say the American people would like to see Congress involved here. A clear majority say that Congress should be authorizing future military action as it relates to Iran. And only 27% of poll respondents say that enough was done diplomatically in advance of the attacks. Another warning sign for President Trump, only 12% of poll respondents say they would favor U.S. ground troops being sent to Iran. That is something President Trump just today refused to take off the table.
Donald Trump just claimed he has the highest poll numbers he's ever had. That is not true. This week, Donald Trump went on Truth Social and said, best polls ever, best economy ever. On the same day, new polling dropped. His approval fell on every issue: economy, immigration, foreign policy, trade.
Just look at Donald Trump's net approval rating. Negative, 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 negative 14, negative 16, negative 17, and negative 19 according to AP North, with no real change in the aggregate from where we were last month. Trump is underwater like the New Jersey Jets.
He was already at record lows. Then he sank lower. He's saying this to people who can't afford groceries, can't buy homes, can't leave jobs they hate. This is not a best economy. Imagine a CEO whose company is collapsing and he walks in saying, I'm the greatest boss ever. People wouldn't clap. They'd call for help. The same poll delivered Trump his worst news yet. The majority of voters now say he was a worse president than Joe Biden, worse than the man he despises. This looks like self-soothing, denial, a break from reality, not strategy, delusion. And that's the problem, because this delusional man is still the president of the United States.
Republican leaders are panicking as a shock poll has just been released by Ipsos Reuters, showing that only 25 to 27% of Americans or so actually support this unlawful war against Iran. And right now, the top Google searches in the United States are war authorization, Donald Trump's approval. Did Donald Trump get approval of Congress? In addition, by the way, to Epstein. And so now Donald Trump has sent out his MAGA sycophants and stooges to tell the American people that we are not at war. There is no war taking place. What's occurring is just strategic strikes, not war. Now, Donald Trump previously said we're at war. I mean, in one of those bizarre and deranged videos he did at Mar-a-Lago, since he couldn't bother to go to Washington, D.C. when doing this unlawful war, he said, yeah, it is a war. Others in the Trump regimes have referred to it. We're in a war right now, and stop freaking gaslighting us by saying that we're not in a war right now. That's absolutely absurd. So Democratic Congress members have pushed back, and they're working with some Republican Congress members like Thomas Massey and others to force a vote for a war powers resolution to prohibit Donald Trump's war against Iran without congressional approval. I mean, it is already unlawful. And MAGA Mike Johnson and all these MAGA Republicans now are fighting tooth and nail. And they're trying to whip up all of the support amongst every Republican to try to block any attempt to restrain Donald Trump's unlawful war against Iran, where we've already had a number of service members who have been killed and seriously injured. Now, this also comes when Donald Trump has told members of the media like Jonathan Karl at ABC and others that one of the main reasons we've gone to war is because in his paranoia, he says, the Ayatollah was going to kill me, so I killed him first. Okay. And also Donald Trump said, expect this war to last many, many, many weeks. And expect, he says, that the Pentagon predictions are that there will be a lot of casualties. A lot of Americans are going to die. A lot of American service members will die. That's what the Pentagon's telling Donald Trump. But what Donald Trump said is, look, it is what it is. Like, this is just what happens in war, and this is what it is. And there will be lots of deaths from American service members. So then you have people like Donald Trump's ambassador to the United Nations, Mike Waltz, who's like, in response to the service members who died yesterday, Ambassador Waltz, I hate that I even call him an ambassador, he was like, freedom is never free. And then you have other kind of Trump sycophants, Bill Ackman and others, are like, this is the most glorious way to die. Dying in Iran is the most glorious form of death. And then you have Lindsey Graham saying, this would be an honor. I direct quotes. Lindsey Graham's like,
I am sick of these old over the hill rich guys. If it's so glorious to die that way, you go over there and die that way then. Get out of here with that crap. I am sick of these old over the hill rich people. They need to go somewhere and sit down. They're the reason why this country is so jacked up. So, anyway, I can't believe folks even respect them at this point. But look, Donald Trump don't care about the servicemen and women. And you can see just the casual way, because, and I was reading that on Sunday that the Pentagon was trying to make Donald Trump understand how serious this whole thing is, and a lot of lives are going to be lost. I read that on Sunday. And he don't care. He don't care. And that's all the more reason for our people not to be involved in this. He don't care. He don't care how many of these young men and women go down. And you can see, just like I told you, and you can go out and look for yourself when you leave off of this live. He's not going to even go to the airport. That's what the president is supposed to do when the fallen soldiers come back home. He don't even want to do that. So he does not care about the military at all. He just wants you over there fighting, and he wants to look good in the whole thing. And he also wants everybody to forget about the Epstein files at the end of the day. I really believe he is willing to sacrifice and shed the blood of the American people just to get everybody off the Epstein file. Because when you really think about this whole thing, y'all, it makes no sense that the U.S. had to go bomb on Iran when they have done absolutely nothing to us. So, y'all, I'm going to go ahead and conclude. Thank you so much for being here. I have all new topics tomorrow already lined up, and we will talk about it. And I just hope that the Most High will keep us all safe through all this turbulence and chaos that's going on. A lot of people, another thing I'm noticing, a lot of people are in fear of some sort of attack on American soil. I'm seeing that in a lot of videos. People are saying they are feeling something is about to happen on US soil. They're feeling it. And I'm seeing like multiple people having this feeling and expressing it on multiple different videos. So we will be safe, my brothers and sisters. We will. So please enjoy the rest of your evening, and I will see you again tomorrow. Shalom, family.